king 9, I mini raise and he folds. We catch a nice hand, pocket pair, pocket tens. He mini raises, and here it's again, it's not wrong to go all in, but it's such a strong hand that I just want to get more of his chips into the middle. It might be better here to raise to 180, you know, just so you don't give him the implied odds that he needs. So I should have bet here to 180. But he moves all in anyway, so I call his obviously I call here, and my tens hold up. And now we're in a comfortable lead, king 6, and my king high holds up, and this is it for the first game. Alright, next game, queen jack. I make my standard raise, and this is a pretty dangerous looking flop, so even though I have 2 overcards, I'll check here and see what he'll do after the turn. Turn comes another 6, and the fact that he didn't bet here makes me think that he didn't connect with this board, so I just try to take it away from him, and he folds. 8-6. I catch a middle pair, and in the beginning I like to check a middle pair just to see how aggressive he normally is, and you know, to see what his game plan is about. And he checks behind me, and I catch 2 pair after the turn, so here I have to bet out to, you know, make him pay for any draws he might have, and you know, not to give him a free card. So I bet out, and he calls, and I make another bet for value after the river. Queen 5. I just limp in here. I normally raise this, but here I just limped in to see how he was going to react, and he took it away from me by making a raise, which is something to make a mental note of. Ace jack. He makes a mini raise, and there are already 60 chips in the pot, and ace jack is a very strong hand in a hyper turbo game. So my normal play is just to move all in here and hope he calls me with a weaker ace, or you know, maybe even some weaker hand. And the reason that I don't like raising here to 120 or 140 or something like that is because it makes it very hard to play after the flop, because you're out of position. So I just shove it and, you know, hope for the best. He calls me with king queen, but makes a straight by the, you know, and catches his king and makes a straight by the river. So he wins the pot and leaves me pretty weak. Jack 10, 6 big blinds deep. I need to try to build my stack, and he folds. 9-3, I fold. 8-5, I just went all in the hand before, so I fold this one to gain some credibility, hopefully. Jack 3, he moves all in. I only had like 90 chips left to call, but so, you know, it might have been positive EV to call here, but I decided to you know, get a look at 1 or 2 more hands before I go all in. And I catch ace 6, which is obviously good enough, and I survive and double up. King 7. This is the situation we had in the previous game, and again here I limp in and I try to get him to take this spot away from me by moving all in, which is what he does, and I call. Here he went all in with king jack, and this is what I was trying to get across in the game before. Even if I had moved all in here, he would have called easily. So in this situation, we were both going to be all in anyway, but with my king 7, what I wanted to do is get him to move all in with a weaker hand, which he didn't have in this situation. I catch my 7 and I double up, and I am back alive. Another king 7. I don't connect with this flop, so I fold. A3. A couple of folds back and forth. Fold my 10-2. Jack 5, I limp in to see if he's willing to play or if he's going to try to take it away. And he moves all in. And I finally catch a nice hand. It's a no-doubter. I call. He's dominated, but he catches his 8, and pretty much all I'm left to do here is stop myself from typing anything into the chat box. And this is it for this game. This is our last game. This game is going to be a little bit different than the other two because I know that this guy is a regular and we insta-registered, and you know, these are the guys that I usually try to avoid, and I know that he knows all the tricks, that he's using all the tricks, so it's going to require some of that level thinking, you know, the type of what am I thinking that he's thinking that I'm thinking scenarios, and I'll try to use them in my favor. First hand, ace 5. I make a mini raise, and I get top pair, make a continuation bet, and he folds. Nothing special here. 7-2. Oh, don't you love it when they fold to you with 7-2 off? A couple folds back and forth, and now I catch Queen Jack out of position. This is a perfect example of a hand that I like to make a double X re-raise out of position with. The reason for doing so is because there is a broad spectrum of flops that will allow my continuation bet to be successful. If I catch a queen or a jack, I'm most likely to be in front, and also if an ace or a king falls, I can safely represent it with my continuation bet, and it's quite likely it will take the pot down. So this is why I raise here to 80, and he folds.